So you came out of the financial markets pretty happy in 2012. What was it actually like to leave the markets and the whole readjustment process when you woke up the next day and realized there was nowhere to go?
A little bit refreshing, but also a little scary at the same time.
Sure.
I mean, it was refreshing because I could actually sleep at night without waking up every day and check my Bloomberg
Of course.
every hour, see where futures are, especially during 2008.
Yeah.
Half that time you couldn't even believe the numbers. Like, wait, that's down how many points?
Okay, so you've obviously been chilling out a lot more since 2012. And I personally know what it's like, to leave the markets and have that moment of realization when you wake up and you don't have anywhere to go. But you and I got in touch recently and started discussing how you could help retail traders in the United States become a lot more consistently profitable.
Yes.
What are the types of guys that you get coming to the seminars in New York? What are they like? What are they looking for?
Okay, I think there's two type of traders that I really, when I look into a room like this, there's two types of guys I want to mentor that I think are very successful. Number one is a guy that's maybe a little bit older, has been trading his account for a while, and he's had marginal success. But the difference, the reason he hasn't been successful is because he doesn't have the right education or know exactly what the markets are telling you. Usually, this person is, whether he owns his own business or has been successful in business somewhere, so has acquired a bit of wealth, but he just needs that extra education, that extra guidance to actually become a successful trader, because his instincts are actually correct most of the time. He just needs a little bit more guidance or a little push or whatever just to get him over the hump.
Yeah, so we have a similar problem in Europe. We tend to get a lot of guys, I guess, who have been around the market 10, 20 years. So been on the retail trading side for a long time.
Yep.
And either they've lost money consistently or had marginal successes where they do make a decent return occasionally, but they never manage to actually sustain it.
Yeah, I think the problem with them is sometimes they just overtrade or they undertrade. They don't have the optimal amount of, if they look at 20 bets, they either don't put any of them on or they put on too many of them. They should pick the 3 or 4 winners, the 3 or 4 best.
Okay, so obviously the infrastructure in Europe and Asia in the retail trader market is very different to the United States. Obviously in Europe and Asia, the infrastructure that retail traders use is contracts for difference, CFDs. And in the United States, the way retail traders leverage positions is primarily through options. With your background in the options market, what do you think are the main mistakes or problems that retail traders have in the options market?
I think what they get wrong is they're not telling you they miss what the options volatility is actually telling you. Like maybe they don't have a basic understanding what volatility is, or when they see volatility high or when they see it low. Usually it's high for a good reason and it's low for a reason. You usually want to buy vol when it's going up and sell vol when it's going down. It's the same thing actually with stocks. You want to catch that.
So if there's momentum in the same direction.
Yes, that's why. Yes, I think that's what a lot of the retail investors miss.
Okay, so retail traders looking at low vol, thinking because vol is low that it's an indication to buy because it will be higher at some point.
Yes.
And then they just get, I guess, major decay.
Right, there's a difference between being low and being cheap.
Sure.
When vol is low, it doesn't make it cheap. Usually when vol is high, that's when it's cheap. And when it's low, that's when it's expensive.
Okay.
It's the opposite of what of their instincts.
Okay, so interacting with these guys in seminars and through the mentoring programs so far, we've obviously talked about the classic mistakes that retail traders make in the options markets. What about successes? What are the types of options trades that guys tend to get right consistently?
I think what the ones that they get right are, like I said, the guys that have that understanding of when vol is high, probably because there's a catalyst, whether earnings are coming out or there's a FDA decision coming out. That's when you want to buy the vol, because it also limits your downside. If you're totally wrong, you don't lose as much as you would if you're just owning stock by trading options.
Okay.
And your levered bet you can make more money, and that's what I have seen as the successes so far.